Today we're going to spend some time talking about funnels, in particular powder funnels. You know, my first funnel was this one right here. It came with my Reloader Special 2 kit. In fact, I still have the same reloading press that I've been using for a long time, since the 1980s, and this funnel came with it as well. You know, it's just a general all-purpose funnel, 22 to 50 caliber, and in general, a one-size-fits-all funnel works okay for most or many applications. But I noticed occasionally I'd get some powder that spilled out as I was filling this an individual case. It didn't happen on all different cartridges, but some cartridges, based on the height of the neck and so on and so forth, just kind of tended to spill a little bit of powder with these sorts of things. Now that's real problematic, especially if you are trying to pursue precision reloading. So what I did is I did some reading, did some studying, and I found out that, hey, there are caliber-specific funnels out there. And the first one that I bought was a 22 caliber, just like this one. This is a 30 caliber. This is the third or maybe the fourth funnel like this that I have purchased. These work really, really well. However, the only downside of it is now you got this collection of all different sorts of funnels, and if this little thing, little tag wears off, which it will, you might forget which one is for which. But I normally write on with an indelible ink, Sharpie type marker. Just about the time that the sticker is going to fall off, I'll write on what the caliber is. Now, most recently, RCBS contacted me and said, hey, would you be interested in reviewing our new MatchMaster funnel? And I agreed to do that, and they sent me this for free. I wanted to, first of all, make that clear, and I also wanted to make absolutely clear to all of you that if I don't like this, if there's something wrong with this, I'm going to let you know. I'm also going to let the folks at RCBS know so they can improve their MatchMaster funnel. Now, I open this thing up, and it's like, wow, this is really nicely packaged and a very nice looking funnel. Now, this isn't some cheap little thin thing. This is aluminum, but it's a thick aluminum. I'll guess that's an anodized aluminum by how it looks and how it feels. It is Teflon coated, as I understand, on the inside here, making it very, very difficult for powder residue to sit or stick to the walls of this particular funnel. That's not true of some of the other funnels that I've used. Sometimes you look in there and I can still see, especially it seems like with the spherical ball powders, I can still see something. And you might tap it a little bit more to get that powder to fall out and into the case. But this is very nice looking, very well made. And then it, of course, comes with, in this case, 6 different caliber specific fittings, everything from a 22 caliber all the way through the 338 caliber. Now, let's think about this just a little bit. Why would this even be important? What is the function of a funnel? Well, it's simply to allow us to pour the powder from our pan after we get done weighing it, pour that powder from the pan into the specific case that has already been primed and is waiting to be charged with that powder. Now, trying to pour a good amount of powder from a pan directly into the neck, the mouth of that case, very, very difficult. Very time consuming, and you're almost certainly going to spill some. So we use a funnel to do that, and we can pour that powder into the funnel, and it relatively quickly dispenses into the case. Now, if we want to do some sort of test to see if we could clog any of these funnels, I'm sure we could. Maybe some of these funnels are easier to clog than others. We could just pour in the powder and, a good thick cylindrical powder, maybe like that N150, H1000, something like that. We could probably get them to clog. I'm not too interested in that. What I'm interested in is practical applications of the funnel. The correct way to pour powder from the pan into the funnel is relatively slowly. That won't take any tremendous amount of time, and that will reduce the chance that you're going to have a clog, all that good stuff like that. So a little bit of technique goes a long way with any of these funnels. Now, what's the problem with these absolutely basic funnels that you probably get with the first kit that you bought? Well, the problem, as I alluded to earlier, is it's not a perfect fit for every case that you're going to be charging powder on, every cartridge that you're going to use. And some of those cartridges far more problematic than others, and so you might step up to something like this, or now, hey, you might step up to something like this. So let's see how this is going to perform versus this. This is the one that I currently use for my 308 Winchester loading. As you may know, if you've been watching my Extreme Reloading series this season, we are reloading for the 308 Winchester in my Accuracy International AXSA rifle. And I need to charge 10 cases. Okay, so I'm going to be using the RCBS, the new RCBS MatchMaster funnel for 5 of those cases. And I'm going to be using my current funnel for the other 5 of those cases. Actually, I might do a few more just to really get a good feel for it. And we'll see if there's a difference between these things. I'll be talking us all the way through it, and then we'll come back and do a quick review. So let's go ahead, head into the powder room, and charge some cases. All right, we'll start with my standard funnel. And today I'm throwing 42.3 grains of Varget powder. You know, Varget does not meter very well through these electronic scales, but never had it meter badly or have any sort of problems in these funnels. Take a close look also at the fit of this particular funnel to these 308 Winchester cases. Now these are flowing nicely, not having any problems at all. Wasn't anticipating any problems really. I'm purposely trying to pour a little bit on the side, not directly into the hole, the drop of the funnel there. And that is the 5th case that I've done with the standard funnel. Now the new RCBS funnel. Very nice, very quick, very smooth. And again, looking at the fitment of that funnel on those 308 cases. Round number 2, pouring it relatively rapidly. And you know, I suppose it's possible that if a person pours the powder too rapidly, that 1 or 2 of those kernels might want to bounce out. Now, I don't suggest that you pour the powder as fast as you possibly can. Instead, I recommend you pour the powder carefully. Now, how about a side-by-side? Let's take a look. Is one faster than the other? Maybe not. Awful darn similar. Well, you saw it in action. Real reloading going on. In fact, I just put the bullets in all those cases and finished that step up. Very smooth. very smooth. That powder really wanted to slide right through this. Big plus over there. One plus on this one is it's a lot wider. And so as you're pouring the pan into, or the powder in the pan into a funnel, it's easier, I guess, to get it here. But I'll say this, working around a camera always makes things more difficult. And there's nothing terribly small about this either. And if I wasn't on the camera, I may not have noticed the difference in the size so much. So just take that with a grain of salt. Excellent, very, very well made. No complaints here either, I guess. So if you're still shopping for Christmas ideas, or if your wife is saying, hey, do you have any wish list ideas for upcoming Christmas? You might give a little hint. Not too terribly expensive, and it is very, very well made. And that is my honest opinion. So thank you very much for watching, and if you have any questions, go ahead and drop those into the comment section below, and I will be sure to answer them. Thanks again.